Tonight I'm going to go on stage, I'm going to play Hammer Smashed Face with Cannibal Corpse for the first time. It's going to be crazy.
It's amazing. You're one of, I don't even know how many guys who are able to go do that.
Yeah, it's insane,
you know,
dude.
It's really cool.
So.
This episode is brought to you by Gator Cases.
What's up, guys? I am Sam from Another Rundown, and I am super psyched to be here with Brandon Ellis. Day one of tour for you, playing with Cannibal Corpse, dude. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. You know, I can't wait to rip the Band-Aid off and get this show over with. It's been
yeah, dude.
I've been sweating it for many days. You know, just busting my ass, learning all these hella confusing songs, and
For sure.
you know, just cranking out riffs every day. And I made videos for the guys for every song that we're playing, and a couple more. So I was like, you know, every day I would learn a song and turn on the camera and just try to get like a perfect studio quality take from like front to back of a song I'd never really heard before.
Sure.
For a lot of them. You
Yeah.
know, it was a lot of work, man. It was a lot of work. And
Dude,
then yeah, a couple weeks to just get all the songs together and get ready to be here today. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But dude, we have to talk about this guitar. Tell me the story behind this thing. Insane, Jackson Custom Shop, King Kelly, which I wasn't expecting, but so sick.
Yeah, so basically when I was secured to play with Cannibal Corpse, and I realized what tunings they played in.
Right.
And I knew they played low, but still it was like, G sharp, huh? Okay, G sharp standard, and I strung up like one of my 6-string Kellys, the 25.5-inch scale length, with like the thickest strings I could find.
Sure.
And it was still like rubber bands, you know?
Right.
And I know, like Rob played 6 strings, but he tuned them like as if it was a 7-string, missing the highest string.
Sure.
You know? So
Yeah.
it's like kind of tuned in fourths, like across the G to the B string. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get used to that.
Yeah,
like
that's a big ask.
That's like kind of scary to me. And just for my own like just enjoyment on tour, I like to hang out backstage and just noodle around on my guitar and stuff. I was like, I don't want to have this confusing tuning that I'll
Totally.
throw off every lick I know, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I could have done it, and just because you just learn the set, you know, and then you perform. But I like to just improvise and jam and hang out backstage. So I was like, all right, I think I want a longer scale length a little bit, and an extra string up top couldn't hurt, because like it was, you know, I had that G sharp 6-string, and like the highest note on the guitar was like not very high, you know, it wasn't much of a solo register there.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I figured I would do it on 7 strings. So I went to Jackson immediately, and I was like, look, I got this gig, I got to play 7 strings, and I need something right now. And if you guys could either like repaint a production guitar for me to be like a specific color scheme, or if you could build something in time, if that's even possible.
Yeah. 6
And,
weeks, right? For the
yeah.
custom shop.
Yeah, and so my guy there at Jackson, he was like, Master Builder Big Rob is up for the challenge, man. He's gonna get, he's like, we need the specs as soon as possible, and a couple things. It was like, if the paint could either be satin or relic, then we can get this done in time.
Cool.
And so yeah, I went back and forth with some specs about things of what was going to be doable and what wasn't going to be doable, and we ended up with this, which is amazing.
Dude, insane.
So there's one detail about this guitar that's pretty custom, I think, is that this guitar has a 26-inch scale length, which I haven't actually heard of before.
Yeah, not a 26.5, but a 26.
Yeah, because
right in
you know,
between.
my 6 strings are 25.5. Some of them are shorter than that. And the 7-string that I got like straight away from Jackson, just a production model to learn the stuff on right away, it was 26.5. And I was like, whoa, this is a big difference. You know, it's like all my muscle memory's off. Like I don't know how far it is from like the 3rd fret to the 7th fret anymore.
Right.
I
Yeah,
have
you
to,
can't
like,
look
really
away
like, look
and play
while
anymore.
I'm playing and stuff. And yeah, it was just a huge adjustment. And I played that guitar for like a month and a half or something. You know, so I did get used to it, but I was, you know, crossing my fingers that this guitar would be done in time.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, after I got that guitar, I was like, you know, let's change that scale length to 26 if he hasn't already started yet. You know?
Yeah, right.
And it was literally like that. Like we're going through the specs like while he's already working on it.
Oh my God! So you didn't know if you were
not
going to be
even
able to
ironed
change
out
it.
yet, because they're just trying to make it as fast as they can.
Right.
But yeah, specs wise, I did an ash body
Nice.
with the flame maple top. I did a red binding on everything. I just figured it was just the evil death metal Cannibal Corpse color scheme thing to do, is to have red inlays and a red logo and red binding and all that. So
For sure, yeah.
definitely like in tribute to the guitars that I've seen them play. And then we did this red burst with the red binding, which is cool. And I was also like, can you do the King Kelly cutaways on the thing? And they were like, yeah, we can do that. And I was like, sick. Because I always wanted a King Kelly,
Sure.
really,
They're rare, right? Like you don't see them very often.
You don't see them very often. They're mostly custom shops. I think they do have some production guitar
They
now.
did the Concept Series limited edition 2 years ago, I think. It was like the oversized King Kelly, but it's
It's
six-string.
a baritone, maybe?
I think that one was a standard scale. It looks like a baritone just because of the sheer size of the King Kelly body.
Yeah, but it was matte black and it had bevels and stuff. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, like the King, like I'm a nerd for like old Jackson custom guitars and stuff, and I know like every weird shape that's only been made a couple times or whatever. And I always wanted one of these. There's not that many, and they're usually 22 frets. And so I was like, can we do a 27 fret Kelly? And can you do those cutaways? And,
5
and they were
additional
like,
frets.
Yeah, we got this.
So cool.
And yeah, I always wanted one, but it's like, maybe not the right tool for like every gig, of course.
Right.
Maybe it's
Very
like too
specialized.
extreme for some stuff. So I was like, oh, perfect. Like Cannibal Corpse, yeah, I'm taking the fucking King Kelly.
So cool.
So yeah, it's ash body, flame maple top. We got that. I did a Gator Floyd Rose on it.
I noticed that. Very interesting.
The Gator is my favorite of like mass-produced Floyd Rose tremolos.
Right.
Most of my guitars I use a Turkish company called Hantu.
I've been following them for a little while.
Yeah, and
all titanium stuff.
Yeah, their
right?
stuff is fully titanium, and I have a tremolo that they made me a tremolo for this guitar, but unfortunately, shipments from DHL has paused all shipments to the U.S.
It's
because of
affecting
tariffs
everybody, I
and
guess.
stuff like that. And so he had it made in time, and he just could not get it to me.
Damn, that
But
is a
so
bummer,
I spec'd the guitar with the Goto, so Jackson could just take care of that. And when I get his tremolo, I'll just swap it on there. But the Goto is fantastic. There's really nothing wrong with it other than it's not made out of titanium.
It looks like you have titanium add-ons, though. Am
I
correct,
I
or-
did. These are either stainless or titanium, like bolts for the string lock and the intonation screws.
I also see you have a push-in arm, which I personally mod all of my Floyds to have the push-in.
Yeah, well, the Goto comes with, it's actually internally threaded.
That's right, yeah.
As well,
Yeah.
and this is like, this is the best design, and Hantu uses the same design, so I'm used to that. But yeah, there's threading inside of the bar, and there's like a bolt at the bottom for it to screw into, which is just some extra security, and also you can kind of be like, do I want it this high, or do I want to screw it in a little bit deeper so that it's a bit closer to the strings or whatever. So yeah, I did the Goto, and it has locking studs too, which most people don't even like know that they do that.
Tell us about that.
But so the Goto studs, there's inside of where you would normally put like a 3mm Allen wrench, there's a slot at the bottom where there's like a 1mm Allen wrench bolt that goes down into the bottom of the cavity, and so you tighten that, and it just tightens the whole post up, so it's not going to jiggle or anything, and it also makes it so it's not going to like when you're touring and the bus is rumbling the trailer back there, nothing's like slightly loosening or tightening.
I've had that happen
You
to
just
me.
like crank it tight, and it's just kind of set there. So the Seymour Duncan pickup that I went with is this is the alt metal active.
Nice.
I'm kind of known for using passive pickups. I have a signature passive pickup with them.
Yep.
But for this gig and with these tunings and just the sound of Cannibal Corpse, it's like active pickups into a rectifier. That's like what the sound is, you know. So I tried a few of their active pickups, and I decided on this one. I put it in all 4 of the guitars that I brought out for this tour.
Very cool. So you really spec'd this guitar out just for Cannibal Corpse?
Pretty much, man. I was basically like, if I'm gonna play with Cannibal Corpse like once in my life, I'm gonna do it with like a badass custom guitar.
For sure.
And if I never use that guitar for anything else, like it's gonna be a kick-ass fucking wall hanger in my house. It's gonna be like a memento. So, I don't know. I kind of definitely I didn't want to. I wanted to look the part, So yeah. So other than that, it's a roasted maple neck. Just for stability, roast the maple,
of course.
so it's less susceptible to climate. And ebony fretboard, stainless steel frets, which is like kind of crucial for me on tour. You can just like wipe them off with a rag, and they're like brand new again. Like you feel like glass, or nickel. It's like you have to bring some kind of polish or something like that.
I also find that they're much smoother when you're bending. There's something. It's subtle, but it's definitely noticeable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we got that, and then just a standard Floyd Rose 7-string nut, and these are Goto locking tuners as well over here.
Nice.
And I always put like a an Allen wrench holder on the back of my headstock.
Yeah.
So I did that myself because I didn't, I wasn't going to kill them with like a list of extra things to do with the factory. So I kind of put that in there myself.
Well, and you kind of have a reputation for modding a lot of your own guitars, right? I've seen
they're
clips
all very customized. For sure.
So you're no stranger to throwing one of those on the back of the headstock, right?
Right. Yeah, of course. But I mean, this guitar was made by Big Rob Knowles, who's a master builder at the custom shop. There's only like a handful of guys. There's only like five guys maybe. Yeah. Joe Williams is my normal guy who makes my guitars, and he's coming tonight.
No kidding.
Yeah, he moved here to Nashville, and he has like a shop here in Nashville, and he builds Jacksons here.
Really?
Dude, there's more like logistics involved in that. So he wasn't able to make this guitar for me just because of the chaos with just moved here and stuff. Sure. But working with Jackson, like I get to be friends with these luthiers, and I'm like Joe, I like DM him on Instagram, and like he's learned all the weird quirks that I like in my guitars, and so it's the more I work with them, the more I don't have to like soup up my guitars. They just like know exactly. How to do
it's
it.
It's kind of like fine-tuned just for you.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I like the fretboard edges rolled, and I like the frets ball end dressed, and all this like nerdy stuff and whatever. And it's like when you have like a personal relationship, you can really go deep on the.
Yeah, it's awesome, and that's something that you get as you grow as a professional guitarist, right? Like that's something that evolves over time. It's not something that everybody has.
That's true too, because before you have like the opportunity to order custom guitars, you don't even know what you like, because you're just getting what's available, and you're like, well, this like shopping for a guitar for like a lot of the time, it's kind of like shopping for like a new pair of shoes, You're like, yeah, I'd wear that, and then you get it, and you just kind of work around how it feels like. You've got a list of things, but over the time, it's been like, okay, what scale length do I like, and what radius do I like, and how thick should the neck be at which part of it, and and how do I like my frets stressed, and all this kind of stuff like this. And now it's to the point where I pretty much know exactly what I do my best on. And I still have like a big guitar collection. I like to pick up all different feeling guitars because they will inspire you in different ways and stuff. But for the specific job of like playing metal on stage, on tour, night after night after night in different climates and stuff like that, I've definitely got like the idea of how I want the guitar to be spec'd out pretty solidly.
But then, of course, you get a gig like Cannibal Corpse, and now all of a sudden you have to get something totally new.
Now it's got to be a little bit longer. That was the most important thing. It was just that extra half inch makes a huge difference, and just the tone of the strings, and it's not big and like it's not far enough. Like 26.5 is like, whoa, this almost looks like a bass or something. It's nowhere near as long as a bass is, but it's like feels like a different instrument.
Definitely.
But this one doesn't. This one to me, I'm like, this is like within I don't even notice really that it's much longer, but you can hear the difference.
Sure, yeah.
Because I strung up my 25.5 inch scale guitars, and it's like those low notes, they don't quite have like the brightness to them. It's very dull, and the strings kind of sound dead when they're brand new. You get a little bit longer string length, and it really like comes to life.
Meet the GTSA electric guitar case from Gator Cases. Offers premium protection for your electric or acoustic guitar while you travel. Built with military-grade polyethylene, this case is resistant to heavy impact, moisture, dust, and other elements that could damage your instrument. The black padding on the interior of the case protects your guitar from scratches, and the heavy-duty locks that keep your guitar secure are TSA compliant and make for easy travel from show to show. The distinguishing feature of the GTSA Guitar Case LED Edition is the LED light embedded in the interior lid of the case, allowing you quick and convenient access to your guitar pick, capo, and other accessories. For serious musicians, the GTSA electric guitar case from Gator Cases offers top-of-the-line comfort and protection for your electric or acoustic guitar.
How are you finding the 7-string? Because I know your signature guitar is a 6-string, Kelly.
Right. Yeah. So I literally never played 7-string before.
No kidding.
So I kind of like literally on like day 2 of learning the Cannibal Corpse songs, I was like, I'm just going to do it 7-string, man. I didn't even have one.
Do it live.
I ordered a custom shop without even having one.
Wow, that's crazy to me.
I just like commit to it. I was like, I'll figure it out, you know. And I'm still getting used to it, because all I really have been doing since then is just playing these songs. So all I know how to do on a 7-string guitar is play a Cannibal Corpse show, I'm still a little confused about like noodling around on it and stuff. It's still a little bit strange to me.
Of course. I always kind of thought of it as like it's a standard 6-string guitar with a lower
See, that's like
string,
how I was like, yeah, that'll be easy. That'll
Yeah.
make sense.
But
But when
then
you're
you
playing
get
it
it.
and
Yeah.
you're just playing off the low string, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to like. It seems easy. You're like, I have the strategy of how to visualize this to
Yeah,
where I
yeah.
can do whatever I want. And when you get it, it's just a little bit different
Yeah.
than you thought it would be.
For sure, dude. And speaking of a little bit different, the 26-inch scale, is it fitting with you, or you're
Yeah,
in with
totally,
it now,
man.
right?
It feels great. It's
Yeah.
like perfect scale, I think, for the. And this is down. I mean, this isn't a regular 7-string tuning. We're down to G sharp. It's real
Right.
low, but
Right.
it holds up. So yeah,
Nice.
I think just partially as like mainly a soloist, like a lead guitar player. Like I don't want to play 27 or 26 and a half. It's just like
Right.
too far of a stretch for some things.
Of course.
Even though in this position here, I'm mostly playing a rhythm guitar gig. I have a handful, like 5 solos or so in the show or something like that, and I'm mostly just really doing justice to what Rob would do.
Cool. Yeah, of course.
So it's not like I'm up there like showcasing all my fucking crazy solo guitar playing or whatever on this, but it's an amazing opportunity to get that. Like I'm a Cannibal Corpse fan since I was a teenager,
Right,
dude.
yeah.
That's like the first death metal band that turned me onto it,
Same here.
And yeah, it's surreal to be asked to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like tonight I'm gonna go on stage. I'm gonna play Hammer Smashed Face with Cannibal Corpse for the first time. It's gonna be crazy.
It's amazing. You're one of, I don't even know how many guys who will ever get to say that they were able to go do that.
Yeah, it's insane, dude.
It's really cool.
insane. So yeah, it's I'm lucky. So
Yeah, man. And
I'm
you have the
really grateful.
guitar for the job.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
right here, custom built for you, man.
Yeah.
It's so sick. Yeah, it turned out awesome.
Yeah, a lot of my companies really like came in clutch for me on this. I had to get a couple more of these Richter straps that I really like.
Oh, nice.
It's like they're microfiber on the back, so they have good like friction,
Oh, sure,
So
yeah,
the
that's-
guitar doesn't neck dive as much because and they last forever. Like I've played these straps for tours and tours and tours and tours. And before I used them, I used other leather strap companies, and the leather would kind of wear out and it would get softer and kind of slippery as it went. It would just wear down smooth and it wouldn't have that friction anymore, and they'd get frayed and all that. But I find these straps to be really great. So normally I take 2 guitars on tour, so I've got 4. So I was like, all right, I need 2 more straps. I need 2 more wireless transmitters. Which is kind of silly because the guys in the band all play on cables anyways. But
Really? So
like
you're the
I've never
wireless
played
guy?
a show on a cable, dude. I'm clumsy as fuck. I'm like,
Right.
I need my wireless. I'm
I've-
gonna trip over it or
Yeah,
something. It's
yeah.
not gonna be good,
I've stepped on a cable and slid across the stage.
Really?
That's the worst.
That's crazy.
That's the worst. Depending on the material of a cable, yeah, that can happen.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm just like, man, I've never played a live show on a cable in my life, and I'm not trying to start.
You don't
right
want
now.
to start now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So speaking of backup guitars, you said you have 3 other ones.
Right.
What- yeah. So what are those?
Well, so the tunings that they use, it's basically, there are 4 tunings in use. There's E flat on the oldest stuff.
Okay.
There's C sharp, 6 strings. C sharp and E flat 6 strings. And then there's A sharp 7 string and G sharp 7 string.
Yeah.
So the tunings are a 4th off. So basically what we do is we have an A sharp 6 string and a G sharp 7 string, me and Eric.
Okay.
And Rob did it all on 6 strings, but
Gotcha.
we're doing 7 strings. And like the oldest stuff that's an E flat, it's like we're playing it off the A string.
Right.
Like we're playing Stripped, Raped, and Strangled and Hammer Smashed Face like a string up on the guitar.
Wow. Yeah.
Because that's our E flat string. So yeah, I just have I have a main guitar for each tuning, for
Nice.
A sharp
Cool.
and G sharp, and I have a backup for each one.
Gotcha. Cool.
So yeah, this is the only guitar I had like custom made for this
Right.
this one.
Yeah.
So for the 6-string songs, I'll be playing my usual Crackle Kellys.
Of course, your signature Jackson Kelly, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Do you think we'll ever see a signature 7-string from you?
I don't know, man. I would have to like, it would have to be some kind of permanent situation that I would be like.
Sure, yeah, it would have to make sense.
Because like on my own, just as like a solo guitarist, I don't know that I would like all of a sudden go be like full on like I'm now a 7-string guy.
Sure.
I'm not sure, but I do really like the idea of it because like on 6-string and like in Black Dahlia we tune down to C standard, and I like how like those low chords sound awesome when you're writing songs and stuff. It's kind of hard to go back from.
Yeah.
As a guitar player, I'm like an E flat guy,
Right.
But now when I'm writing songs and you hear those like big chords under there and they just sound huge, it's like, okay, it does sound cool to have like a regular standard tuned guitar and still have those chords, it does
Sure.
sound cool. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just haven't crossed that bridge yet.
Yeah, man. So yeah, the one thing that we haven't talked about yet is the back of the guitar. Could you tell me about kind of the construction going on back there and what you did for a finish?
Yeah, so the finish, just to start with that, like I mentioned, they told me if it's satin or if it's relic, we can do that in time. But like doing a thick polyurethane finish like takes weeks, and you know, it was taking just to build the guitar, just to get to paint. I mean, we got to paint like a week and a half ago or something, you know. So we went with relic, and then I kind of told them like not to relic it, you know?
Yeah.
So what we ended up with is like a real thin, just like raw coat of nitro.
Yeah.
Of nitrocellulose lacquer. And it's like a relic guitar that's like, it's gonna relic real easy. Like,
Sure, yeah.
it's gonna be real hard to
Play it
keep
a
this
couple
guitar.
times.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna like,
I can
sweat's
already
gonna burn
see.
through it. Yeah, like it's definitely like on its way. So it'll be cool to see like how that develops. I love relics, and I've always wanted to like order like a badass like Charvel relic or something like that, you know.
Totally.
And I think this will look really cool like that too. If like it starts to like burn through the burst, and you start to see some of that color poking out. So I think it'll look cool.
Yeah, nice.
So that's what's going on with the paint here, and it's nice too because it's a really thin coat, so the guitar is nice and acoustic sounding. It's not like, it doesn't have like a blanket of like 2 millimeters of polyurethane or polyester or whatever
Sure.
on top of the
yeah.
wood. So
it's a little smoother.
sounds
on the
real
back, right?
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so the guitar's neck through, of course, which I always do on tour. At home, I like bolt-ons. I think they have like a neat sound to them. Like there's definitely a sound difference. I like all kinds of guitars and things, but on tour I always do neck through just because it's more stable. And like if I'm literally like walking to the stage for the show, and I like bump my headstock on somebody in my like some guy in my band, or just like some piece of gear that wasn't where I thought it would, then on a bolt-on it's like, okay, now I'm out of tune. My neck might be crooked. You know, my high E string might be like falling off those high frets or something like that. It's like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah, probably.
So it's just a little bit more stable of the thing. And on stage, like, dude, I sweat like a maniac. Like my hands are like sopping. Like I'm like literally like blasting sweat onto my shoes with like every fucking bend that I do.
Really?
Whatever, you know? It's crazy. So like a glossy neck is actually like necessary for me. Like that's what's fast for me.
I see, yeah.
Because my hands are so slick that it feels like it's just like glass.
You
It's
need
just
that
like,
extra friction.
It's really
almost,
fast for me. Yeah, if I do like a satin neck or like a wood neck, it gets grimy like within the course of a couple songs, and that stuff just like sticks on there, you know. And it's like it just that's sticky for me. And I guess that's very unusual for guitar players, because everyone I tell this to is like, no, I need the satin. Everyone wants satin now.
Sure.
Neck through guitars come satin now if you want them to, but yeah, I need the paint. I like need the paint.
Well, it's good that you know that. How are your strings holding up with all that sweat?
I change them like every day, every other day. We'll see. No, I'm used to playing a whole show on one guitar, so now I'm kind of splitting the show up with 2 different guitars. We'll see.
Might be able to spread out.
Yeah, I might be able to get a couple days out of it, but like it's just a neurotic thing for me. Like I want my guitar to sound the same every day. I don't want to have fresh strings one day and then the next show they're a little bit deader, and then the next show they're fresh again. Like I want to do the same thing every night.
Of course.
So yeah, normally I change them every day, and that's just, it's regardless of what type of string it is or anything. It's just like, it's, hey man, it's like a few bucks. It's like $5 for a pack of strings or something like that. Like within the scope of what we're doing here, it's no big deal to just do new strings every day. But at home I'll do it like every few weeks or something like that. It's a different situation. But yeah, all the sweat, as long as you wipe it off right afterwards, you dry the guitar off and stuff, it's gonna be all right. But if you don't, if you sweat all over a guitar and you put it right away in the case, you open it the next day, it's like there is nothing left. Man.
That's me.
They're completely dead. Yeah, it's like crazy. Like the average guitar player who doesn't play live would probably not even believe. Like
it's
how
insane.
fast it can happen. Yeah.
It is.
So yeah, I try to do it every day, and maybe I'll do every other day. But I brought enough strings to be able to do it every day.
Cool.
The string gauges I'm using on this, I use Dunlop for strings. So the A sharp tuning, I'm using 12 to 60.
Okay. Yeah.
On the 25.5 scale, 6 strings. And on this guitar, I actually went with a custom set. I was kind of like mix and matching a couple sets, and I was like, can you make me sets with these specific gauges? And if I remember right, I believe it's 10, 13, 17, 28, 36, 52, 70.
70.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. For the G sharp, of course.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's kind of like as thick as you can. Like you're at the limit of like the
What the
saddle
Floyd
and the
can
nut.
do,
Like
yeah.
you know, like what's going to fit in there without
Yeah.
like sticking on top of the.
I've gone to restring a guitar with like a 72,
Yeah.
where it's it's a Floyd, and you can't get the string in the saddle.
What I did learn, because 68's really like the max on most of this hardware. What I did learn is that if you go higher than that, at least with Dunlop, they taper the strings. So you have the ball end and you have the string, and then towards where the plain string comes out, it actually tapers down to a smaller wound gauge. And so what I do is I actually cut the string so that there's like
I can see that.
maybe
yeah.
like a 1/4 inch of like something that looks like maybe that's like a 42 or something like that.
Right.
And so I put that in the saddle and on the edge of it, and then the actual 70 just starts while the string is in the air floating. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's brighter that way. Like you get some more high end out of it, and the intonation the saddle doesn't have to go so far back on the tremolo to intonate. Like it's just it's the way to go in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I realized like, oh, I don't need to like Dremel my saddles out to get like a 74 in there. They have a taper for that. So
Nice. Well, I always wondered if you could use the tapered end in a
Yeah.
Floyd Rose, so that's actually great information.
I saw it first on one of my basses. I have like a Steinberger style bass.
Oh,
where it's double
okay.
ball end.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the bridge side ball end had the taper for the low string. So
Gotcha.
I got the idea from that. And I was like, I'll just do that, and then I could play. I tried 74, and I ended up going with 70 just because, like, it was doable with 74. But in this band, you better be confident just like mashing some squealies with your index finger. You know, I just wanted to be able to like manhandle it. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah.
I went with 70.
Yeah.
A little bit more than 68.
Yeah, makes sense, dude. Well, I mean, this guitar is amazing. I can't wait to see it tonight. You're playing with Cannibal Corpse, first night of the tour. It's awesome. We're here at Marathon in Nashville. I'm Sam. This is Brandon Ellis. See you on another rundown.